If you work in university maintenance, Granger considers you an MVP because your playbook ensures your arena is always ready for tip-off. And Granger is your trusted partner, offering the products you need all in one place, from HVAC and plumbing supplies to lighting and more. And all delivered with plenty of time left on the clock, so your team always gets the win. Call 1-800-GRANGER, visit Granger.com, or just stop by. Granger, for the ones who get it done.
How to have fun anytime, anywhere. Step 1. Go to ChumbaCasino.com.
ChumbaCasino.com. Got it.
Step 2. Collect your welcome bonus.
Come to Papa welcome bonus.
Step 3. Play hundreds of casino-style games for free.
That's a lot of games. All for free?
Step 4. Unleash your excitement.
Woohoo!
Chumba Casino has been delivering thrills for over a decade. So claim your free welcome bonus now and live the Chumba life. Visit ChumbaCasino.com.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
He's an old head.
Youngins are really starting to get on my damn nerves.
He's a purveyor of nonsense. He's a Georgia high school coaching job influencer. His favorite Bible verse is, Jesus wept. He's the man of constant sorrow, Chris Lamb.
Yeah.
Welcome to Sun Coaches Podcast. We are at the Nike Coach of the Year Clinic, Day 2. We're here with Coach Danny Verpaele from Army West Point. He's from Merritt Island, Florida. He played safety at University of South Florida. He's coached all over the place in his many adventures he's had so far in his college coaching career. Coach, thanks for being on with us today.
Thanks for having me on. It's always good to come back home to Florida and get to see all your buddies and see the family. So appreciate you having me here.
Well, Coach, tell us a little bit about your playing career in high school. And were you just a football player, or did you play multiple sports? Or
Yeah, no, you played everything. Grew up in Merritt Island, Florida. Basketball, baseball, track. Played a little bit of everything. Didn't know anything else. Always run around outside barefoot. And so played quarterback in high school. My brother was a quarterback, baseball player as well, and he went to South Florida. And that was back when the school was just starting football. And I didn't even know what the hell South Florida was. I said, where's that, you know? So he went there, but no, I played all different sports in high school. And, it was a great community, small town. We had really good coaches. You know, just something that Friday night lights. It's a different feel. You know, so it was a great place. And then I got to go to Tampa. You know, USF, and you know, Tampa's my second home. So loved being there. It was a great experience. You don't know how good you have it till you go live around other places around the United States. And they say, hey, let's go to the beach. It's about a 7-hour drive. I'm like, nah, it's about 10 minutes from the house. You know?
yeah, that's pretty sweet.
I lived in Mississippi, Virginia, New York, and, you know, in the snow. And you just never know how good you had it when you're down here in Florida. But played at University of South Florida for 5 years. It was a great time. You know, that's when Coach Levitt was there. And things started getting rolling. We sold them out, beat West Virginia. You know, went to Auburn, beat them. So a lot of great memories, a lot of great friends, people that I'm still seeing some today. So it's always good coming back down here and getting
like a reunion.
Yeah, you know, Florida's different. It's I love it. It's one of the best. You know, it's the best place. You know.
Yeah.
No knocking anywhere else, but it's just home to me, and so it's great to be back.
That's awesome. I've noticed that. That's one of the coolest things to me about being at this clinic and even at FACA last year is, you know, in Georgia we have, you know, there's some small schools, and you have Georgia Tech and Georgia Southern and Georgia, of course, but down here there's good-sized schools with really good football teams, and they asked me last night, you know, who you with, who do you pull for, and y'all are serious about who you declare for this guy. You know, I'm a Florida State guy, I'm a Florida guy, I'm a Miami guy, I'm a USF guy, I'm a UCF guy, and it's just neat. I'm sure when y'all get back together, it's pretty cool to get to see those guys.
Yeah, it's always good to come see your teammates and guys you grew up playing against, and just who you cross paths with, you know, and all those different things.
Who would you say was the best person you played with, or one of the best that you think probably you played with and you were like, that dude right there, he's something serious?
In college?
In college.
Yeah, well, Mike Jenkins was a first-round draft pick for the Dallas Cowboys. He was a freak. He could pretty much do anything. You know, Stephen Nicholas was a linebacker, played for the Falcons for about 10, 12 years. He was special. And say probably those two. There's a lot of really good players, a lot of NFL players on that defense. I think about 9 guys went to the league. But Mike Jenkins was just different. He was freaky. George Selvey, defensive end, almost broke the NCAA record for sacks. Those guys were pretty special players. Obviously, that's why they went to the league.
So did you GA there or did you leave there? I mean, how did your coaching career get started?
Yeah, so I always knew I wanted to be a coach. Even in high school, Bobby Bowden was like my idol. I just liked Florida State for whatever reason.
Right.
Wasn't a Gator fan, I don't know why. I just liked, Bobby Bowden, Florida State, Warwick Dunn, all those people. So I knew I wanted to get into coaching. Football came easy to me. I didn't like school, didn't like other stuff. So senior year, we're playing Syracuse at home, homecoming game. Boom, snap my foot, break my foot, and career's over. So come in the coach's office Monday. I said, hey, put me to work. I want to be a coach. So halfway through that season, I'd be up in the press box. I'd be charting plays. I'd go in there with the coaches and do some breakdowns. And Coach Troy Douglas was my defensive back coach, and Wally Burnham was our defensive coordinator. And they put me to work. So you really want to do this? Okay. So they started doing different things. I was like, all right. And trying to get a GA job is hard. It's an oversaturated market. So I was trying. I had a bunch of different coaches. I had a lot of connections. I think it'd be easy, and it wasn't easy. And so I was about to go take a high school job in Suwanee, Georgia, with Jerry Odom, who's from my hometown, recruited me. And I got a phone call to go to VMI to interview for a restricted earnings job. Sparky Woods was the head coach, and my DB coach in South Florida got me plugged in with him. So I went up there and took a look at it, and he's like, no, I want you to go home and think about us. I'm taking it. I'm coming. It only pays $12,000, $15,000, and I want you to go think about it. I said, no, I'm here. I'm good. Let's roll. So I was lucky to go get that job that spring, and I was actually still recovering from when I broke my foot, and I regret that I didn't finish my rehab. So when I wake up in the cold now, I still feel a little bit. But, I got my career started there, and they don't have GAs, so you're restricted earnings, basically a GA.
Right.
But the cool part was I got to go recruit. So the coach said, hey, I'm just going to send you to Florida for the month. I said, sounds great.
Bet.
Boom, I'm going right to Tampa.
Yeah.
Here I come.
I know those people.
Yeah. And they're like, where can you, here's how much money, where can you stay? I got a lot of places to stay, Coach. Don't worry about it.
Yeah, not a problem.
I get a Allegiant Air flight from Roanoke down to St. Pete or Orlando, and $75, and I was rolling. So it was a great experience to get started and get to recruit and start building relationships with a lot of these coaches who I see here and I'm still friends with today.
So where did that lead to?
So I got VMI. I go there for the first year, and that's a culture shock. You're coming from Tampa, and then you're going to Virginia Military Institute, and you're up in the mountains, ain't much around. We had a tryout trying to get scout team guys, and there's about 15 kids come out, and 10 of them never played high school football. And the tryout was, hey, run a straight line, see if you can catch a ball. I was like, what the hell are we doing here? I was like, holy shit.
What are we doing?
I was like, but that was a great experience. I got my feet wet, got to get going there. And then at Jacksonville University, Kerwin Bell was the head coach, and Jerry Odom just took the defense coordinator job. Well, he's from Merritt Island. He recruited me. And so I went there to Jacksonville University to be the secondary coach. And so 2 years out of college, so I'm back in Florida. And got to go there with those guys, and probably the best time of my life. I know you're single, 24, 25 years old, living in Jacksonville Beach.
What could possibly go wrong?
Oh, this is the best place ever. I had to get out of there. It was too good.
Yeah, I can imagine.
And, again, you're recruiting the state. Got to recruit the Tampa area, and just living back in Florida and working with, Kerwin Bell and Coach Odom and those guys and just coaching football. And it was a great time. Really enjoyed it there. And then I finally realized I met one of the coaches at the convention, and he's like, so where are you at? I'm like, Jacksonville University. Jacksonville State. I'm like, no, Jacksonville. He's like, where the hell's that at? I'm like, damn. So maybe I need to go to a bigger place for, take it up a level. So I was there for 3 years. It was awesome. Great time, great people. And then went to Mississippi State as a GA. This is 2013, and it was right before the season. A guy I knew was up there, like an analyst or something, and one of their guys left and made a phone call. I said, hell, I'll do it. So you serious? And so Jeff Collins was the defense coordinator, calls me. said, hey, looked at your resume, like, when could you be here? I said, well, hell, I'll be there tomorrow if you need me to. Calls me back tonight, goes, okay. So I left in about 12 hours, packed my black Ford Taurus, and went to Mississippi. And so here we go. They're about to start. They started practice that day, so they needed someone. So I felt bad leaving Jacksonville, those guys, but they understood. And went out there, and he told me, he said, I want you to go up 75. All right, then I want you to Atlanta and come across. Call my dad. My dad's like, what the hell are you doing? He's like, no, you go I-10, you go through Dothan, you go through these areas. I said, Dad, the guy just said go this way. So as I'm driving up 75, I'm in my car, there's a little rainstorm right by Valdosta. And it's raining a little bit, and I hit one of those wet puddles. 3 spins, miss a semi, end up in a ditch. All right, what just happened? My light flashed in front of me. Climb out the window, call a tow truck, go. My car's working. Good. I said, all right, here we go. They're calling me. They're like, where the hell are you at? I said, Coach, had a little accident. I'll be there. So finished up, get there to Mississippi State, and they already had their first practice. And I walk in, I had no clue what I was getting into. And it was an awesome experience. I've been running my room, coaching position for 4 years. Now you're going to BGA and the SEC, and that's humbling, And didn't have time to look for a place to live. So I found a couch on the 3rd floor, and I stayed there. Got woke up by the janitor many times, and got that experience at Mississippi State. So that was really cool. You playing Alabama and LSU, Odell Beckham Jr., and then Johnny Manziel, all in that time frame. So when Dak Prescott took over, being the quarterback at Mississippi State. So that was my next stop, and I got to work with linebackers. It was a good deal there, and it'll humble you. You move from Jacksonville Beach, working with Coach Bell, who was like a Spurrier, kind of laid back, and you're chilling, and you're Coach Mullen and Jeff Collins, you're working now.
And you're in Starkville, Mississippi, not
Vegas,
the beach.
Baby. Yeah. There's a lot around there, There's cotton fields and, a couple places. So, but it was worth it on game days. And my group of GAs, those guys I met then, and, they're all different places now, and you have a special bond with them, So from there, I went to West Point. Well, I was, if you want to hear these stories, but I was in the summer.
Awesome.
I'm in Tampa, Florida at my brother's, right? Ran out of money, so I need some money. So they had a little thing where they're cleaning up yards and houses. So we're out there cutting down trees, and the damn chainsaw goes down. So me and the guys working with them, this Cuban guy, right, we got machetes, right? And we're cutting down trees with machetes. I'm like, what the hell am I doing, right? This is my summer break. I'm in Tampa with a machete, right?
And it's hot.
Yeah, my buddy calls me and goes, hey, I just got the Army job. Our QC just left. Would you want to take it? I'm like, dude, I don't know. It pays $40K. I said, all right, I'll be there. So went and packed up my stuff, left Mississippi, and I went to Army. And this was on the offense side of the ball. The guy who got the offense coordinator, I worked with him at VMI, became good buddies with him. So I'm on the offense side of the ball, get rolling. I'm there about 2 weeks. And then one of the coaches got a NCAA violation from 5 years prior. So he couldn't coach that year. And so I got bumped up to tight ends coach. Didn't know what the hell I was doing. I said, well, if I'm going to coach it, you better teach it. So we're there 2 weeks trying to learn tight ends. But a great experience. Just getting to West Point and nationally recruiting, all that stuff. So they'd send me on the road. So I got all that experience. The guy came back, and then I was back off the field. So there another season, and someone else got sick. So they was like, hey, go on the road, go to Houston. So I was like, all right, they're just sending me on the road. You learn all the ins and outs of West Point. It was awesome. And it was Coach Monken's first 2 years there in 14, 15, and we were not good. Air Force killed us, Navy killed us, right? We're getting better, but he was taking over a program that hasn't won a lot. And so I'm on the offense side of the ball, triple option. I'm like, I need to get back, coach, back on defense, back on the field. So I went to Kerwin Bell, just got the Valdosta State job. So we got the band back together, went to Valdosta State, coached linebackers there, me, one of my best friends, James Rowe, and Justin Hines. A couple of us took over there. And next year, James left, went to the NFL. I took over as defense coordinator at Valdosta State. 2 years later, we ended up winning the national championship there. That was in 2018. And I know I heard Coach Bell was going to be leaving, going to South Florida. And I said, well, hell, we were just undefeated, perfect season. I might not have a damn job. I said, I'm going to beat you out of town. So ended up getting in at Kennesaw State. And I was there for a year as safety coach and became defense coordinator. I was there for 3 years, loved it. Great spot. Living up there outside of Atlanta by the Battery. Got a house up there. I'm good to go. got engaged, getting married, all that so on, and Coach Munkin calls me up there at West Point and says, "Hey, we got this spot," and I didn't want to leave, but it's too good of a deal. So now I've been back up at Army for a year, and that's kind of just my little jumping around and how it's gone so far. It's
that's awesome. I remember that year y'all had at Valdosta State. I was at Early County then, and when y'all had that year, and we were very pleased about that because a lot of our guys, you either went to Georgia Southern, or you went to West Georgia, or you went to Valdosta State. Well, we were in South Georgia, and and most people stay regional. Yep. Where they coach. Like we talked about Coach Glanton at Kennesaw. He's went to West Georgia. Well, he stayed up in that area. Well, a lot of us, I went to Georgia Southern for a little bit, but a lot of those guys in South Georgia, they went to Valdosta State. So we kept up with y'all that year, and it was pretty cool to watch y'all do what y'all did. There was a lot of pride in that group, and that what y'all were able to pull off there.
It's a special place, and they let you know too. I was there about 2 days on the job, and some guy walks in and goes, "Hey, boy, we won national championships around here."
Title town.
Okay. Then the next year, I took over as defensive coordinator and went 5-4. I was like, "Hey, we're about to get fired." We lost to Albany State. They're going to run our ass out of here, right? And so I'm only making this much money. The defensive coordinator at the high school is making about $50K more than me.
Bubba Wallace here from 2311 Racing. You know what's slower than a pace car? Waiting at the car wash. That's when I fire up Chumba Casino. It turns those slow minutes into fast fun. With new games every week, you'll never get bored. Next time you're stuck in the slow lane, speed up with Chumba. Play now at ChumbaCasino.com. Let's Chumba.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino. No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.
Am I doing the wrong thing right now? But it was special, man. The people there are awesome. They just love football. And South
Vegas.
Georgia, yeah, they the high school programs down there are run like college. I go meet with those coaches down there, and they run a college program. And it's a big deal. It's
hard to explain that to people, and I know you were sitting in on our last interview. We were talking with a guy out of Utah that does the ranking system for their prep stuff, and talking about what high school coaches get paid here in the state of Florida, and it's almost embarrassing to talk about what Georgia coaches get paid. And I only say that to say this: next time some of my buddies are complaining about whatever we have going on, don't.
Yeah.
Because it's...
Come take a look at the stipend they get in Florida. It's sad. You wish they would do something. And Georgia does a great job with retirement and just how they structure everything with their coaches, and it shows. And, I have a lot of buddies leave, and they go to Georgia, and I'll get a $20,000, $30,000 raise, and the retirement's so good. So, I wish they would try to do something in the state because there's a lot of really good players, a lot of really good coaches, but hell, that $3,200 stipend when you've been somewhere for 20 years and
got to eat.
Yeah, and you're teaching economics and whatnot, and
yeah,
I can go to Colquitt or Valdosta and make $105 and do football all day and get the TRS. So you wish they would catch up, but hopefully they do for the coaches down here.
So you've been back at West Point for a year.
Yes, sir.
And obviously you made an impression on the people there the first time you were there to able to come back. The relationships, not burning bridges, is what I'm getting around to. Because, we're old. I mean, you're not as old, but we're older, and you're old in the business. And, trying to get coaches to understand how important it is to keep those channels open.
Yeah, you never want to burn a bridge. I always do things the right way. And so when I left, I made sure I was good with everything, and the coach was happy, and I would go visit. I actually met my wife up there the first time about 10 years ago. So I've been up there a couple of times. I'd stop by and stay in touch with those guys and just try to do things the right way. You never want to burn a bridge because you never know what that person or who they know. And just, hey, treat people the right way, be yourself.
Well, it's just weird, too, to me. I mean, it's probably not to you, but it just seems when you sit back and think about it, you started out at VMI. Would you have ever thought that you would be later at one of the big service academies?
No clue.
No. I mean, you have no way of knowing. And now you're like, well, kind of look at it. Yeah, now I'm at West Point, so I kind of get. I mean, they're not the same. But
but
there's parts of them that I imagine structurally they're somewhat similar.
Yeah, West Point, it's the original academy. So a lot of the foundations and things are taken from that. And, it's funny. About 3 or 4 years ago, I'm at Kennesaw State, Our best linebacker goes ECU, our other one UCF, our other one Kansas State. They're getting poached by all these. I'm like, screw this, man. I'm going to Irwin County and find these kids, and you develop them, and hell, and you get a team going. Then boom, they're gone. They're gone. You're like, and you're doing it the right way, and you can't blame the kids. And it's like, you know what? Screw this. You know what? I can go to the NFL or back to the service academy. And somehow, maybe put in the universe, it came back full circle. So I'm
going to hit on two things you just said right there. Number one, because you heard me in here going on a rampage about recruiting. You said Irwin County.
Oh, yeah.
And for people that don't know, they're in Florida. Irwin County is a smaller single-A program in South Georgia, and they do have athletes there. And you talking about recruiting there, and you heard me in here, ranting and raving and carrying on about how some of these bigger programs, which rightfully so. I'm surprised that Kennesaw would recruit, but they're in state.
We went to every school in the state of Georgia because our head coach is from there, and
Absolutely.
he didn't care. We would go foot in every school.
Right, and we have these guys coming through that they'll go to Atlanta. You heard me say it, so I'm repeating myself to you.
Oh, yeah.
They'll go to Atlanta. They might go to Valdosta and Moultrie and Camden County and maybe Ware County if they've had a good year. Yep. And they might hit the schools that played for the state championship. But the Irwin counties and the Fitzgeralds and the early counties of the world and some of the, schools up in the mountain schools and the Granges and not so much.
Yeah, I think college football as a whole, because I had buddies at other schools, I don't want to say the names, whatnot, and I'm like, where are you going today? Well, I'm going to these three schools. I was like, you're driving by Lee County. He's the defensive coordinator's alumni. This guy's an alumni. This guy's an alumni. Well, I'm just going with this guy getting his list. I was like, dude, your ass is driving by 4 good schools that have players. And it seems like nowadays the structure, it's so much that people are just going off what a recruiting list or someone tells them instead of going to the schools. And, at West Point, we're doing the whole United States, so it's impossible.
Right.
But we still go out, and I think you got to go, hey, who are the players? Where are the guys at? Because
just
like South Georgia and Florida, there's some of these small towns and South Sumter, or there's little hidden nooks, or there's players. But you got to go there.
And you know. You being from down here has got to help everywhere you've been because you're like, hey, I'm from there. I can tell you where they're at. I know where they're at. I know their coaches. I've got relationships with them, which that's, talking about relationships. How important is that? Not just to help you with your career, but to help with the recruiting process.
That's why I'm here. Anytime I can come to Florida or places, just keep the relationships with those coaches and knowing those guys, and they're good people too. But you got to know there's some people that are full of it, and some people are, hey, they're going to shoot you straight, but just where the kids are at and what's going on. I think it's relationships and knowing the areas is huge.
Well, something you said there too about, I know at one point in time there had to be like 12 or 13 Georgia Southern alumni players that played at Georgia Southern. When they won national championships, there were head coaches in the state of Georgia, and they could not get them to wouldn't come recruit their kids. So finally they banded together and said, that's fine. We won't send them there. Mm-hmm. And it hurt them. It ain't hard to figure that out. If you're an in-state school and you're not going in your own state to get because those kids aren't. Now they're D1.
Yeah.
But you're not recruiting against Georgia. You're not fighting over the same kids.
Nope.
But there are a heap of youngins in Florida, in Georgia, wherever, that can play at XYZ. And, the fact that Coach Bohannon was having y'all, hey, you going to go.
Each coach, every year you're stepping in a school once. And I'm pretty sure Coach Levitt, when he was at South Florida, was the same. You had to go in the school, every school in your area at least once a year.
And people used to sit down and go, well, Coach, who's the best? Who have y'all seen this? You might not have any, but who have you seen that we might need? Do you think we should look at? Or
we don't
how
have
good
no
is
one
that
for
guy?
you, but hey, in 3 years we will. Or hey, at least you have a relationship.
Or you go, hey, we don't have anybody here at Blue High School, but Red High School over here, they got a dude. He's the best thing we saw all year, and he did this, and this. You might want to go give him a look, and you go, hey, yeah, I might want to go look at that kid. Or you're like, oh, yeah, we're already on that kid,
Yeah, I think there's value in that, but it's different now. People are doing the portal and flying everywhere, and they're not, I guess it depends on your location. At Kennesaw, we could do that. In Florida, you could do that. If you're up in Iowa, You probably don't need to go to every school in Iowa. You got to go wherever, so a far off location. But I think that's kind of in college football. It's all you're off a computer or these lists, and like, well, who's making the list? Do they really know? And what about this kid or the transfer or the basketball player or this kid who doesn't have internet or like you said, a cell phone? There's a lot of them out there, and you can go find them. Just got to put in the time and the work, and
and those composite lists are great, and it's great they do that. And I think that's a good starting point.
Yep.
But there's so much more, that, especially at a place like West Point, where you've got to have recommendations, you've got to have this, or just really anywhere now where you want to make sure that if we're going to offer this kid, at West Point you don't have to worry about the portal.
Nope.
He's got a big smile on his face about that.
People are like, "How do you like it?" I love it. We don't do no NIL deal, no transfer portal, so we're good. We've had it's a challenge recruiting there because of the volume, because you have a preparatory school, but it's been the same issue for the last 30, 40 years. You know exactly what you're going up against. We're not dealing with all this crap right now. So now recruiting the whole country, and I got North Carolina, South Carolina, Gwinnett, Athens, part of Georgia. It's a lot, and there's no way you can find every kid.
Right.
Word of mouth and knowing the people who know where the kids are at still is definitely a big help. And
do you guys recruit? I've always been curious. Do y'all recruit more against Ivy League type schools? Is that your main or upper level academic schools like Duke and Vanderbilt and Wake Forest and places like that? I mean, are those more? I mean, I don't know.
Yes, it's going to be an Ivy League or academic school typically, and other academies are what we're going against. Every now and then you'll get a guy that but Power 5, it's just all depends on what they want and what they're looking for. And most of our kids, they know nothing about the military, or they're kind of clueless, and they want to play big time college football. And then they start learning, like, well, I'll be set for life. Oh, your graduates, you got this many Fortune 500 CEOs. Like, buddy, you're set. You're an elite alumni.
You're coming out. You're an elite alumni. You're coming out as a commissioned officer.
You're starting off making $85,000, $90,000.
Period. And you're in charge. You're not a bullet stopper. They're not running you up a hill and saying
you're telling people what to do, and you're managing stuff, and they just paid $500,000 for your education, your brain. And so getting that misconception of you're not playing G.I. Joe and running around with a gun, and you're coming to one of the most elite academic institutions and one that's known as the number one leadership school in the world. And here's these alumni, and they're going to be looking out for you. And going into your 4th or 5th year as an officer, when you're a captain making about 125, these headhunters and these firms are going to come start recruiting you to be CEOs and presidents of company because you graduated from West Point and you know how to manage people, you know how to problem solve, and just look at the alumni list and all that, and you start showing them. I'm like, wow,
yeah,
it's special, it's impressive.
If you're the least bit motivated, this could really work out for you, son.
Yeah,
we might not can show you a path to the NFL, but we can show you a path to a much better, safer future. Your foot's not going to hurt when it's cold in the mornings, probably.
No doubt. And I tell the kids, I'm like, hey, man, don't forget about me in 10, 15 years. Just look out for me. Hey, when I recruited you, right? Just take care of me one day so I can go bartend in Key West, all right?
There you go. Well, let me ask you about this. Tell me about your very first Army-Navy game as coaching there.
Well,
because that had to be – because there's no way you went and watched the Army-Navy game as a kid.
No, I never did.
Other than on TV. And I've heard that, it has to be true, too. It's like I grew up in Augusta. You can watch the Masters on TV all you want until you go and see it. It doesn't do it justice. I imagine the Army-Navy game is the same situation. Watch it on TV all you want until you're there, and you being actually getting to be a part of it. What was that like the first time?
There's nothing bigger or more impressive than the Army-Navy game. It shuts down an entire – it's like a Super Bowl. You shut down the city for the whole week. You get there, and the people are flying in from all over the country, and the whole hotel's decked out. You get off the bus. Our police escort was 10 cop cars, 8 motorcycles, 5 state troopers. You're shutting down an entire city. The people that are around, it's hard to explain the pageantry and then how intense the game is, too, as a coach.
Right.
Like 2 or 3 weeks up, you're puckered tight. It's locked in, and we got to have – get security at the hotels just for meetings and stuff, and try to keep. Hey, it's for everyone else to come party. It's a damn business game for us. We got to win, and
because y'all are trying to figure. Y'all got to make sure you're singing.
You better sing second.
Period.
Because you might not have a great season. You beat Air Force and Navy. All right, it's okay. You lose one of them, then And all the big dogs are there. Every top general. You got, presidents come to the game. The Barstool guy was there on the sidelines, Belichick. And before you even get to the stadium, it's the whole build up to it's crazy. The uniform reveal. I mean,
oh yeah, I love that. That's
guy came
awesome.
in a damn helicopter with the whole corps out there, and comes out in the uniform, blasting stuff, and it's they spent $500,000 on just the uniforms and the gear for that game from Nike. And then when you get to the stadium and you walk off that bus, it's already packed, sold out. It's insane, and it's just hard, the pageantry, and people say, you see these older people in the stands, and it's Army or Navy, they don't care, and veterans and different things. So my family came up from over here in Merritt Island. I got my nieces. I had a couple extra tickets, and they're like, holy, we're coming next year. I was like, well, hey,
easy.
I need some money for these. These tickets are hard to get. And, one of our coaches was at University of Florida and for the national championship games, and his college roommates went to those. And Army Navy, he's like, there's nothing like Army Navy. It's just, it'll give you goosebumps. It's worth it all. The kids and the opponent, everything you do is year round. Beat Navy. Our head coach, when he gets off the phone or talks to anyone, all right, beat Navy. I mean, it's all it is. It's Navy. And he'd say, hey, we don't apologize for it. It's that important.
Oh, yeah. I mean, you want to win all the other games, too, but if you go 1-13 and that one was Navy,
it's a little better.
It's all right.
Yeah, so
it wasn't so bad.
If you can go, if you're a football fan, I'd highly recommend it. And it's special, We get to go to the White House this year, so we're looking forward to that. I don't know when, but it's hard to explain, but it's special.
So getting to sing second this year was all right.
Oh, it was great because they on 14 and 15 they crushed us, so it felt good.
Man, that's awesome. So, Coach, I sure do appreciate you being on. It's a pleasure meeting you, and I'd love to have you back on again down the road if you can find some time. I know you're going to be busy, but I'm sure I'll run into you again at this clinic. I sure do appreciate you being on with us.
Thanks for having me, and I appreciate it. If I can ever do something, just let me know, and it's always great to come back, so thank you.
Yeah.
Beat Navy.
Hello, it is Ryan, and I was on a flight the other day playing one of my favorite social spin slot games on ChumbaCasino.com. I looked over at the person sitting next to me, and you know what they were doing? They were also playing Chumba Casino. Everybody's loving having fun with it. Chumba Casino is home to hundreds of casino-style games that you can play for free anytime, anywhere. So sign up now at ChumbaCasino.com to claim your free welcome bonus. That's ChumbaCasino.com and live the Chumba life.
Sponsored by Chumba Casino.
No purchase necessary. VGW Group. Void where prohibited by law. 21 plus. Terms and conditions apply.